The Croatian national team is a source of national pride for Croatia. They often punch above their weight. Croatian stadiums, however, well, let's just have a look. Here are the Supersport Hrvatska Here are the HNL Stadiums. Stadion Maksimir is home to Croatia's biggest club, but it is by no means the country's best stadium. In fact, walking around Zagreb, you see billboards advertising a potential new stadium. Part of the reason they want a new home is that it was partially damaged in a recent earthquake, leaving the capacity restricted. Another reason is that it's not quite a football-specific stadium. The stands are a long way from the field, and it just doesn't cut the mustard. It is certainly one of the more visually striking stadiums though, I'll give it that. Gradski Stadion Velika Gorica. Yet again we have a stadium that wasn't purpose-built for football, but it's not too bad. I do like that there are some grass berms at either end. That's not something you see in Europe all that often. It is however a very open stadium, so you are relying on the weather being good to enjoy watching the game. Stadion Poljud. This distinctive venue is the largest stadium in the country. The design is actually very fitting considering the name of the city is Split. And the stadium's sort of split in two, kinda. It has pretty much kept that same design since it opened back in the late 70s, and despite the older design, it's regarded by many as being the best stadium in the country. I can see why. It even inspired some Malaysian architects. Stadion Aldo Drosina. This one may seem very basic, and it is, being a mostly uncovered single-tiered stadium, but after a renovation about a decade ago, not only is it in good condition, but that green colour scheme that can be seen is looking clean but not mean like the inside of a spleen. That's just obscene. Nice stadium. Stadion Kranjčevićeva. This ground is a tick over 100 years old, and it looks every bit of its age to be honest. However, some recently installed seats have certainly livened the place up, but still, it remains a very old-fashioned stadium, with a cycling track around the field no less. Stadion Gradski Vrt. This one shares some similarities with Stadion Maksimir, and just like Dinamo Zagreb, NK Osijek are also looking to build a new stadium. For now, this place does the job I suppose. I like that raw concrete exterior of the main stand. You can tell it was built in the communist era. Very brutish. Stadion Rujevica. After moving out of this extraordinary stadium where you could literally watch the game from the footpath on the top of a cliff, they built themselves what was meant to be a temporary home, while their old stadium was to be rebuilt. But I was there earlier in the year, and there was absolutely no sign of construction, so I guess this will be their home for quite some time to come. It's pretty solid for a temporary stadium actually. The main stand is looking slick, and there's a sizable video board. It's probably one of the better grounds in the league. Stadion Ivan Kušek Apaš. You're looking at the smallest stadium in the league, but I mean, the town itself has only around 20,000 people, so they've done well to get into the top flight to begin with. There's just the one stand as you might expect with such a capacity, but it's a good one. Quality over quantity. Stadion Šubićevac. The site on which this stadium was built has a very dark history relating to World War II, but I won't go into that. For many years, this stadium had a track surrounding the field, which was removed and became an unsightly dirt track. It's now covered in fake turf, which still doesn't look great, but better than dirt. Other than that, quite like this ground. Stadion Vartex is located in the neighbourhood of Vartex, right next to a factory for the clothing company Vartex, and is home to a club called Vartex. But Vartex is not the club in Vartex that competes in this league. Anyway, this three-sided stadium has a clean, simple layout. and with the addition of that row of trees behind the northern end, it's looking very prim and proper. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, have a good one.